not really liking it, but they need something to compete with the team fight prowess of UCI.
Yeah, they had a lot going for them last time with the Anivia pickup. The Darius as well. Mirror Knight was one of the few on his team to end that game positive, even though it didn't exactly translate into an effective team composition member for them when it all did come down to it there. But, by and large, something that I feel like the draft can be very well fixed for UBC. I feel like I'm not wanting to lay on too much criticism, but I think they drafted a little disrespectfully after how heavily they stomped game one. They thought, you know what, we're the better mechanical players. We can just come in and obliterate game number two. And then the team play of UCI really caught them off guard and shut them down. So with that, jungle heavy bans all the way coming out now from the side of UCI. I wouldn't be surprised to watch them pick up a jungler themselves just to deny 4 off the rip. Of course, they do have to take Swain out, which opens up first pick potentially either that Xayah again, perhaps, or we could be seeing a jungle just to make Boyru's life a particular state of hell.
Yeah, it's interesting to see what his actual champion pool is because it's very off-meta picks, and I wonder if he can play the real meta picks because only Zac has been banned out in regards to the meta jungler. If you want to consider Kha'Zix there, that's 2 of them, but I don't think he's quite meta. He's like on the border. He's very niche pick, but not so much as a pocket pick as Lee Sin or a Nidalee. And of course, you don't see them see that UCI is banning away the Nidalee because they saw that he faltered quite a bit on that one. Now, with that being said, Xayah was banned out last game. They're going to lock that one in for not Baka, give him a get out of jail free card with that. But at the same time, Kai'Sa also wasn't banned. And it's rare that I see Kai'Sa go through 3 times in a row, but this is one of those times. And Makoto, he's been good on a Kai'Sa, so he's going to go back onto that.
Yeah, feeling very comfortable with that one. Alistair picked up. Now, we know that might be a proxy pick. They will DM us if that is the case, and we'll guys let you know before too long because that's not been something that's been hugely in their pocket thus far. Alistair not really in the meta right now. I mean, he's fine, but it's not something that's common.
Tell that to West Coast Carry, and he will go off on you. He plays a lot of Lulu. It's West Coast Carry, of course, on Maryville University. He plays a lot of Lulu and Janna, but he also falls back onto Tom Kinch and Alistar being one of them. So this potentially could be something. But yeah, we're going to find out. So you hear him typing away, of course. We're going to find out.
Sure, yeah, sorry about that.
No, I'm not calling you out. I'm just saying that typing does indicate that we are going to find out about that Alistar, see if that is a placeholder. But with that being said, over on the other side, we have Rakan and Xayah bot lane for not Baka and Russian guy. That is a very powerful bot lane because of how much utility that Rakan adds and can have with Xayah being increased over any other ADC with the range of the dash and in and out. So very nicely, nice pickup on the side of UCI's bot side. And they're going to pick up Anivia as well. And maybe possibly show British Columbia how it is done. Now, with that being said, Orianna is picked up. That tells me that UBC, they're drafting a team fight composition. I'm going to see if that turns out the way it is because Orianna, and while, yeah, Orianna's strong by herself if she gets going, but thrives so well in team fight composition.
Well, we talked about it. It is indeed intended, ladies and gentlemen. Alistair will be the pickup for Regis here. I like it a lot as well, actually. Something that, why I thought that it would be a proxy, because when we were discussing proxies, they specifically mentioned, hey, can we pick Alistair instead of this? And so they called him out by name is why that was particularly something that I had in mind. But look at this, the Darius and Shen bans. It looks like the side of UCI are just targeting their biggest headaches, Boyru and Mirror Knight, which means that the side of UBC is going to be left largely alone in the bot lane. Sejuani open this entire time, and something that Boyru is going to feel comfortable hopping right up on.
A lot different drafts coming out for British Columbia. They are drafting a team fight comp. It's a traditional team fight comp at that. Nothing we haven't seen thus far in Collegiate Series, League of Legends, JV, or Varsity. Have your pick because this is a very standard team comp from UBC. They're not going on their individual mechanics and being trying to rely on those 1v1s, those catching out. They want to outright team fight and be safe while they do that. Now on the other side, Olaf picked up big jungler in the jungle right now, and that could spell disaster for the strategy of British Columbia because you can't root that guy down. You can't CC him down once you have Ragnarok. You also do pick up Malphite just to add to that initiation with Rakan.
It becomes interesting too. Yeah, the Olaf a very good pickup here, especially when they have Anivia on their own side. Zud not going to be walling off multitasker, hopefully, to do anything too dramatic there, so we'll see whether or not that does pan out for them as team comps are locked in, and it's a much more traditional game of League of Legends coming out now the side of UBC, and they have tanks into no Trundle this time. I like UBC's draft more than I liked it in game number 1 or 2. I think these guys really went back to the drawing board and hit it well. We'll see now if UCI can ride their momentum out through, or if this is going to be UBC changing up the game.
Yeah, this is no time to really try anything crazy. This is the quarterfinals. If you win here, you get a trip to Huntington Beach to compete on stage. That's no joke. We talked about before game number 1 started about how important that is for your resume, for your experience. That's
personal development, right?
Personal development, yeah, very much so. There's so much growth that can happen by going to a live event and playing in front of a crowd, and just realizing that there's a part of you that might not have been might not have experienced in the career of League of Legends. So it's that opportunity. UBC, they've been playing with fire for 2 games. Game number 1, it worked out. Game number 2, they set themselves on fire in a bad way. The game number 3, you can see that it affected them, and they're playing very conservative. They want to go over to Huntington Beach, but so does UCI. They have been playing to their strengths this entire time. Game number 1, it didn't pan out the way they wanted to, but in game number 2, they had a great team fight comp. Number 3, no different. They have a great team fight comp this time around, especially with that Rakan, Zaya, and Malphite combination. Really like that.
Yeah, I mean, just to create all that dissonance too, for Anivia to kind of lay some of the underlying framework of that with the ultimate can just absolutely take people on down. And then Olaf to kind of ping pong back and forth all around the members. There are some squishy targets for him to blow up. Now, the peel is there, but Kaisa and Oriana, if he can get onto one of those without Alistair or Cho'Gath really being able to pull him off too heavily, will just be in such good shape to slam down throughout. So I like the compositions for both of these teams. I gotta say, I favor UBC on paper just a little bit here, because I think UCI's strength was definitely not, even when the composition was favoring UCI's strength was not at all in the let's be all alone and kind of run around the map one by one. I think throughout both games, UBC played that a lot better. So we'll see if it ends up in that kind of same scenario there or not.
Yeah, I'm really anxious to see, because the UBC individual laners, they are pretty skilled. We've seen it thus far. I'm anxious to see how they do as a 5-person cohesive unit here on the Rift. Something that we have not really seen. They've just been kind of honestly, their team costs have just been solo queue like. They've just been playing what they like to play in probably solo queue, and that's been transferring over here. And yeah, it's time to buckle down. I'm anxious to see them go Super Saiyan and try to bring this one to a close with a win for UBC. Of course, UCI, once again, they don't want to have anything taken away from them. They want that trip as well.
Well, there's something to be said for comfort picks. We'll see how it all does pan out for them. Game number 3, Huntington Beach on the line. All comes down to this, but before we get into it, if you've been sticking around, you know where this is going. We gotta hit a little bit of important information for you all. My name is Kyle Corvus Crow, joined at the desk today by Joshua Fekes Quest. You can find us on Twitter by hitting !casters in the chat. We always love to hear your feedback. ! Discord as well. Great way to keep up with what we are doing here at CSL. Make sure that everything is very well in the loop for you guys, and you're not missing out on any of the cool stuff like the game nights or getting your school more involved in collegiate esports in the future. Check us out on our social medias, Twitter and Facebook. That is twitter.com/CStarLeague, twitter.com/CSLLOL. If you just want the league-specific focused content, you don't worry with those other esports. We don't either, don't worry. Facebook.com/CStarLeague. I want to give a huge shout out to Twitch. Nothing but gratitude for the largest streaming platform in all of competitive gaming to support our humble collegiate esport endeavors. From things like PAX East and West, the CSL would not be what we are today, not even close, without their continued help and support. So be on the lookout for cool ways to get involved with Twitch in the near future. That is Facebook.com/Twitch, Twitter.com/Twitch, and Twitch.tv. It's where you likely are right now, unless you're watching us on YouTube, which means you've headed over to youtube.com/user/CStarLeague. You're very well aware that all of our VODs are capped there in crystal clear quality. And every single game, every single esport, if it's happening on CSL's channel, it's going to be there. Not just that, a variety of talk shows, things like Fekes' Ward Up, the Quad, obviously more multi-esport endeavors throughout. And last but not least, a huge shout out to Juice Battery. Have you ever been in a critical situation and lost the batteries to your mouse, your keyboard, your controller? If so, you should consider Juice Battery. There lasts up to 6 times longer than the average battery life. Their competitors and recharges up to twice as fast. So you're not running through a whole bunch of packs of batteries. You're off the old, snail battery style and into something a little bit more modernized for you there. So check them out. Head on over to juicebattery.com, learn a little bit more about those guys. And with that, we are into game number 3.
Game number 3 in a best of 3, tied up 1-1. Obviously, that's how we get here, but stakes on the line, that being a trip to Huntington Beach, California for the CSL semifinals. And of course, you want to get to the finals as well, going on from there. Play in front of the live crowd. I was told we're going to be building a stage, a custom stage for CSL, so it's going to be extremely exciting. I am very excited for it. I'm going to be there. Corvus is going to be there. Don't know if UBC is going to be there. Don't know if UCI is going to be there. We're going to find out.
We will in a minute here, yeah.
Maybe the next 35 minutes. If these games go anyway, like game number 1 and 2, they're going to be over, sub 40 minutes for sure.
Oh, it's 25 and 27, respectively, for each one. So if we're on pattern, it's going to be 29 here, but we may just split the difference at a cool 26.
I like cool 26, so there you go.
Yeah, it's a little late here on the East Coast for me. We're going to be at 11 p.m. So
oh, yeah.
I'd cast League all night if they'd let me, but it is... It's going a little late. Might be meeting up with some friends after this too. So
it's a late night. Saturday.
No pressure, guys. But wrap it up.
It's Saturday. Sticky, icky, icky. You're from Decatur. You know what that means. You probably do. You're not from Decatur. You know it. You probably still know what that means.
I'm aware of Decatur. I can put it that way.
Have you heard of the Gospel of Ludacris?
Yeah, I know a thing or two
There's
about Luda. Grew up on Luda. He was the face of Atlanta rap. I want to say it's. I really feel like Killer Mike is making a push for that one from Run the Jewels. That guy.
Yeah, ain't gonna wear it.
I love it.
Luda has. Don't get me wrong. I'm cool with Killer Mike, but Luda has that pretty much on lockdown. I don't think that's ever gonna change. And he talks about his most famous song back in like the early 2000s, Saturday. Talks about Decatur. So it's like you're not really gonna trump any of that.
Okay, so I won't argue this too heavily. I'll just say that Killer
Mike
should
talk about the games. There's an aggression on the bot side.
Yeah. Okay.
They're gonna
Outcast as well, somebody else who should be in
Outcast pretty baller, not gonna lie.
Yeah, no, that's Atlanta's pride and joy right there.
Are they from Atlanta?
Oh, Outcast, absolutely, yeah.
You're a native.
Hey, yeah, baby.
Fair enough. As these two teams are actually from the West Coast, so they probably have no idea what we're referring to.
No, we're spinning wheels in the mud right here. Let's be real.
It's late night for you, I heard.
Yeah, no, it's all well and good. We did touch on that.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, junglers, both touching on their bot sides here, just trying to keep up with the momentum. Strong side definitely going to be this bottom half of the map when you take into account that Infernal Drake is the first one on the menu. And, served UCI really well last time around when they were able to sneak it out.
Yeah, the Drake, that is going to be the Infernal. So that's actually been, I think that was the start last game as well. Infernal, one of the most contested Drakes because of how much it gives for scaling with the percent attack damage and ability power. Something that both teams will not shy away from whatsoever. Stacks very well with items. It's not very powerful early on because, again, stacks well with items. You don't have those items early on, so we're going to see who can test that first and win. But man, a lot of aggression going on the top side. Mirror Knight, though, he's on a different champion. We did play the Shin the first time around, but Cho'Gath, a little bit different. Kind of a pseudo-aggressiveness, because you can give that surprise aggression. And if there's anybody that does well with surprise aggression, it is Mirror Knight with that Flash Decimate earlier with Darius. Could also do Flash, when he hits level 6, Flash Consume as well, Flash Feast. Being able to get that true damage down onto Frozen Qualia and get that surprise kill.
Surprise kill, something that's been very important throughout. That's something that potentially Mirror Knight was able to find out in the last game. Boyru not going to be as effective on the crazy flash kill. Hey, I'm here in your face this time, as he is on the Sejuani. A little bit more traditional than the Nidalee and the Lee Sin. We've seen him transition from Cloud9 Rush to more the likes of a CLG Xmithy here. We'll see if he hits the ult at least.
Yeah, you never want to. Yeah. You have to always put an asterisk whenever you put CLG Smithy when it comes to Sejuani. Yeah.
You know what? Smithy is now a reigning North American champion yet again. So good for him on Liquid.
Yeah, I was like, what do I have? What room do I have to criticize him? He's a champion. I guess I'm kind of a champion just in my own right. But let's talk about that another day. That's another time for another stream for that sort of topic. Maybe a word up as we see the resurrection coming out. The Inhibit Egg already being popped. Solo, by the way, by Luminous.
Oof, ouch, owie, my egg. Unfortunate. Yeah, Zud's gonna get back up to full health there. It's just the passive, but to an Orianna pre-shockwave, that's not good.
That's not good whatsoever. That means that Zud is going to have less pressure whenever there's a gank for himself. He can't dive. Multitasker is going to be looking to dive pretty soon against that Ragnarok. Yeah, nice knock, a nice amount of damage being put down.
Yeah, and look at Ruggies is really trying to get in on this one, but he's just not been able to convert it. Oh, he took so much more damage. He was just buying time for Boyru there. That's what they really wanted, but now there is no Alistar with the Pulverize to come in. Actually, does have the Flash Pulverize. Going to find it. Not Baka was out at the same time. Russian guy was in. They both use a Flash, and it's the heal from Baka as well. But everyone's in good spirits. Only the Flash left from Makoto on the side of UBC. Only the Ignite from Russian guy. So both bot laners using a fair amount of resource to make that one happen. They're both pretty close in CS.
Yeah, very nice awareness by Boyru to come through the Tri-Brush on the bot side with UCI being pushed up. I'm sorry, UCI pushed up so far. They had no vision in that Tri-Brush. Boyru took full advantage of that one. Able to get a nice gank off. Not any kills to their name, but you do get the prime summoner spells on that bot side. You got the heal, the flash, and the flash on Russian guy and not Baka, of course. So it might be coming around again. He's not level 6. He's about to hit it. He's level 5. I think he was level 5 after that gank as well. So he's going to be hitting level 6 pretty soon. Maybe coming back down with a nice Glacial Prison going to be thrown out.
Yeah, there's so many Glacial ultimates. When you look, it's Glacial Storm on Zud. We had last game Glacial Fissure on the Braum. Here comes Multitasker actually trying to get in on the Luminous. Nothing glacial about this, just getting right in the face. But Zud without the egg. Could this be critical? Multitasker flashing out. And the answer is no, nothing will be critical here at all. The teleport for Mirror Knight, not going to be the case. I believe that actually looks like it was canceled by the unstoppable force of Frozen Palia there.
Yeah, it is down.
So the timelines seem to match up a little bit there, but the aggression on the side of UBC is here in spades. They're playing it out very well. And they know everything that rides on the line here.
Yeah, I would gladly trade an Unstoppable Force for a teleport, especially now that Unstoppable Force has been buffed to where the cooldown is lower. It's actually quite significant, so he's going to be able to just get that Unstoppable Force back up pretty soon, a lot sooner than that teleport. Take advantage of that one.
I mean, too, another great way that we can tell here is that the teleport is on its full cooldown. It does not go to full cooldown if you voluntarily cancel it.
Right.
It does, however, if it is interrupted. That means Frozen Palia definitely playing to his team's strength.
Russian guy.
Yeah, Russian guy, a little bit aggressive there, but knows he can get right back to his lover there. And so, not Baka, Zyra Khan, fullest potential of that lane.
And thankfully he didn't have that. If that were any other champion on the ADC, he would have been dead right there, not having that extra range. But that is one of the advantages of having Rakan Xayah. You get that extra range, and you're able to. You're able to. You'll be able to straightforward. Sorry, we have a multitasker in the mid lane. I'm trying to see where this goes.
Yeah, he wants to come in. The shockwave does not connect. This is very bad news for Luminous as first blood does come down. And it's going to be Multitasker taking that one out and away for himself, buying a huge amount of mid lane priority for Zud here, who might die to minions.
Yeah, he needed that too. His egg is still down, so he needs to be careful of those minions. Actually needs to be careful of Boyru. One Glacial Prison can just on right in the face of Zud can get him a kill, get Boyru a kill. So he needs to be careful. He doesn't have that egg up just yet, but he's going to be back far enough to be able to stay safe on that one. So very nice pickup by Multitasker, just running into the face of Luminous. Luminous needs to be careful with those, shockwaves. I can't get the word out. Sorry about that. With those shockwaves, actually whiffed it completely. Does not need to be doing that during. He would have died anyways, but does not need to be doing that during team fights.
You know, as low as he was able to get Zud throughout, I feel like the shockwave, absolutely made or broke the kill there. And in this case, it was the break. Unfortunately, for Luminous will be the unreciprocated first blood. Always feels bad, man. Even though he is sitting about 20 CS on up, and that kind of makes up for some of the difference. He's also in the tier stacking portion. Both mid laners are, so not going to be the worst time to give up an early kill. Obviously, you never want to, but it's not going to feel maybe as bad as it would a little later on. Now look at this. Clearing out the vision around this dragon. Both teams know it is the Infernal Drake. Rift Scuttler down for some time now, actually, in favor of UBC. They're going to feel good about that one. They have an insurance ward, just in case. Going to last there a handful more seconds. But all in all, both teams respecting each other, not wanting to go for broke here just yet. And it's just some CS advantages that are really netting UBC the smallest of gold leads here. It's about 250, 300, depending on where the wave's at.
Yeah, especially in that mid wave, mid lane. But hold on, speaking of mid lane.
Yeah, nice shot from Boyru coming in. Nice Glacial Prison. Zud can get pulled back. Is going to have the egg here at this point, so I don't think they can actually dive under the tower. They might want to try. Will he be able to flash out of this one? Is it off in cooldown in time? No, it looks like he's going to get the stun, but Boyru did die for it, so Zud finds himself a kill, and both mid laners walk out with one, but that is not what you want if you are Boyru. That is a classic overstay mistake, where Luminous, the ranged champion, had the health bar, could have juggled that tower aggro just a bit, and it's a little bit of sloppy play coming out of UBC. They find themselves their first kill of the game. They stretch the gold lead ever so slightly, but that's a little bit of an oversight.
Boyru, he wanted to get that stun down as quick as possible, just to keep Zud from spawning and then be able to get a kill. But there's so much turret shot. Those turrets hurt early on. You don't have any armor, and the turrets, early game is going to win.
Nice stop up.
Oh, is he going to dive this? Now he's going to dive this.
Yeah, I think actually he can pull this one off. The flash is down, so that's going to be a wise lesson in when to back off from Mr. Multitasker. But look at this now. We have a roam up coming actually from the side of Regis here. I think they're all going to back off as action still just stays in the top lane between literally a mountain that walks around and a creature that gets bigger substantially every single time it eats. I mean, if things were proportional in League of Legends, this would be insane. Yeah, it would be some Pacific Rim stuff going on.
This would be a lot different of a game if that were the case. And I think, because Malphite is like legit just a mountain that walks. But we have an engage on the dragon.
Yeah, no, Dragon is the one. It does go down now, favor UCI, but that's going to be a big shockwave. UBC's got one kill, but Luminous did die in the meantime. Russian guy found that one kill. Now Baka on the run out of this one. They think they know they have to turn and fight, but what can Zud do? Makoto going to be very low. Can Russian guy help find this one out? The healing is there, but the knockup means Russian guy finds that kill for himself. The teleport starting to channel. There is no stopping this one, but Regis is going to go down to Frozen Qualia is there. Boyru split on the other side, and look at the escape coming out from Russian guy. The advantage is UCI's. They want to find this one in the 2v1, make it a 3v1, but Boyru bringing it right back down to equilibrium, finds himself a kill onto the support. Russian guy does go down. Boyru finds the kill, but they give another one to Zud. And UCI, it's scrappy, but they're going to be feeling like they came out of that one in good shape. Kills even.
Oh.
And the dragon to boot.
Hold on. So
yeah,
the minions are in the favor of Mirror Knight here.
I don't think this is. Yeah, okay. I was gonna say Multitasker's out and away. Luminous is back.
You never know.
Yeah, you know what? It's true. Sometimes collegiate league players, college kids in general, sometimes make questionable decisions. Collegiate league players, the tip of that spear. So we've seen some head scratchers here.
Yeah, very much
in the past.
Pat, but this, all three of these series really, between the drafting and some of the plays, because, I mean, they've been taking a lot of risks, and these team fights have not been particularly clean on both sides. We've been seeing them disengage, re-engage, and then sometimes at a fault. That, particularly Mirror Knight, I want to call him out. He teleported with less than half health. If that were any other, if the team fight were going in just a little bit more in favor of UCI, he would have teleported for nothing and probably died. So needs to be careful with those teleports. And it's actually down. He had no impact in that whatsoever, besides distract Frozen Qualia just a little bit. But it wasn't even enough for that, as UCI, they just edged their way ever so slightly in the gold lead with that team fight. They also were able to pick up that Infernal Drake that started that entire thing. So overall, they did get the advantage in their name, you know, through all that that fog that was a team fight.
Well, that's something I want to touch on as well. Is usually you see the fight break out before the dragon. The fight is for the dragon. Now they knew they had to fight because they were both in one another's faces, and League of Legends is a game of proximity when it comes to damage. But after losing the dragon, it was such a commitment from UBC. They followed through with the teleport. They wanted to just go in hard as hell for it. Speaking of going in hard as hell, this is bad news for Zud. No way to get out of this one unless the cavalry comes in and Multitasker and Russian guy are there. Luminous does go down before they can kill the egg, meaning Zud will be A-OK, and Boyru gets a taste of the return gank. They do juggle the aggro perfectly from the side of UBC. Not really, they didn't juggle anything. Multitasker just took it, but he was out in time. And now with Frozen Qualia coming down, this could be the potential first tower because Zud has some insane wave clear to make sure that there are no minions for Regis to hide behind.
Yeah, they're definitely going to be able to pick that one up. As I say that, they do pick it up. First tower going over to UCI. They also got the first Drake, so they're doing very well with the macro play right now and taking advantage of the rotations. And that was a very nice rotation from the bot side, being able to get the Cavalry in the mid lane for Zud, who still had his Anivia egg. So very nicely played. That's unfortunate. Was not able to get that ward, but we might have it engaged. Back out. That was so close.
I love watching a good Rakan player play Rakan. It just makes me so happy. It's like the Varus, honestly. Just when champions are played to their fullest potential, especially some of the ones that are more recent, where Riot's designing them with kind of higher skill caps in mind, it's a sense of fulfillment that I can't exactly describe, but yeah, I love being a League of Legends caster for this reason.
And that does actually answer a question about the mechanic of headbutt into a dashing Rakan. It stops where the Rakan originally was, does not go through, so that is interesting. As we see Multitasker, very nice timing.
Nice ward kill. Nice ward kill.
Multitasker is going to be on the bot side, though. Bot side, he's going to go in
here. Boyru coming down, too. This could be big. They're going to jive in for this one. Regis is probably going to die before all is said and done, but Russian guy, likely the first casualty. This Makoto, no slouch throughout, and now Boyru here at the perfect time. Featherstorm buys a couple of seconds for Notbaka and does delay the CC, but doesn't matter because the double kill is there, and UBC are suddenly turning this one around. Multitasker on the run. Regis with a really nicely timed headbutt, pulverize, and that is a triple kill for Makoto.
That's a triple kill for Makoto, who's on Kaisa, so that is going to be so huge for UBC. They just found some breathing room, and now they're taking a breath of fresh air with that triple kill onto Makoto. They were having some trouble in that mid lane. Luminous not playing like he was that Cassiopeia on this Orianna, but Makoto, it's his third game on Kaisa. He's feeling quite comfortable, and now he has a triple kill with that to back him up, along with 2,200 gold. Going to be a little bit more after this turret. He's going to go back, come out so much more powerful, and good timing too, because the next Drake is coming up in 45 seconds. UCI, they can set up for that. Or no, I'm sorry, UBC, they can set up for that with this new power spike that Makoto is going to be bringing.
Yeah, it's only a Cloud Drake, but it still means so much, especially to the likes of an Alistar and a Sejuani, who are both, I mean, just seconds away sometimes, mere inches. I guess in League of Legends, the unit of measurement would be units. Very creative there.
Teemos sometimes.
Oh wait, sometimes. Yeah, okay, you can measure in Teemos if you like. So with that, I mean, the Cloud Drake can be the make or break distance. League of Legends, that game of inches, game of Teemos here. Something very important, but does seem that UCI are the faster ones to the speedy Drake, so we'll see whether or not this comes out for him. Teleport's an option from both top laners, and this will be Frozen Qualia showing his hand, having to reset. Looks like Mirror Knight doesn't want to burn that teleport as well, so after they clear out the vision, the pit looking favorable for UBC here. Tower apiece, and gold's pretty daggone close to even, despite the single kill advantage coming out for UCI. We'll see if this Drake does get engaged over or not. Keep in mind, it's only the Cloud Drake, one of the least important, but here's the flank coming in. This is the unstoppable force member. Keep in mind, he goes straight to the back line on the Kaisa. Makoto on the back out of this one. Frozen Qualia is there. Can they find something? Glacial Fissure, Prison does not connect. The Russian guy is here. They're trying to find more. Boyru and Makoto, the two focuses, but no one's down yet. Mirror Knight kills Notbaka, and that is huge as another one does go down. They finally kill Makoto, but look what cost, because the shutdowns are there. Multitasker and Zud, the last two alive. Can they find anything? The answer is a resounding no. It's only Multitasker. He kills Luminous, but it's cleaning house from the likes of UBC as they kill Zud for nice measure. Regis the one to take that kill, and it's only Olaf, Multitasker, the last one limping out of that one alive. Cloud Drake gonna be taken with no contest. UBC.
Multitasker was able to get out there only because of the Ragnarok, but man, Makoto stayed alive for so long in that team fight, despite how many resources were put onto him. He was able to kite and heal back up. That's the advantage of having Death's Dance, because it does reduce the amount of burst that is given to you, and gives you a way to come back in with the lifesteal. So taking full advantage of that one, and it took so long for him to die. He was able to get out so much damage, and that really helped out the entirety of that team fight for UBC. Luminous, I don't know if he even hit a shockwave. I don't think he landed. I don't think he threw out the shockwave. It's actually still available. So that just shows, yeah, that just shows how much power UBC potentially could have had if they hadn't. Everybody was grouped up in that team fight as well. If that shockwave would have landed or been thrown out, that would have been huge for UBC. And they would have decisively won that team fight. But they did go 2 for 3, I think. Yeah.
2 for 4.
2 for 4. Sorry about that. Yeah,
because Multitasker was the only one walking out of that one alive.
Yeah, exactly. More than likely could have got that a little bit quicker if that shockwave would have hit. So Luminous needs to make his team fight presence a little bit more felt in the future here.
Well, fact is, I don't know who's going to win this game. I really have no idea. We're sitting pretty even on gold. The one thing I am pretty certain about is that it's not going to be over in 25 minutes. Likely not going to be over in 27 minutes. This is definitely the most even game we've had thus far. Bad time to back, actually doing him a favor. Frozen Qualia now here to potentially help out his team. Regis, I'm sorry. Probably actually, if he just waited a second longer, could have found some kills. But this time around, doesn't matter now. Mirror Knight going to feel pretty good about hammering away at this tower all by his lonesome. Frozen Qualia with no teleport cannot get in there, and this is actually pretty brilliant because now Qualia's going to have to roam down there. No teleport. Mirror Knight has his teleport. He can leave immediately. It's a nice dodge out of the Glacial Prism. The Featherstorm as well to make sure that there are no CC potential there. And they're going to get back to their tower. Very nicely done. Now Qualia just needs to stall out Knight to make sure that nothing goes wrong there. Luminous trying to get in onto the likes. Oh, what a wall. What a wall.
Beautiful wall. Completely stops UBC's aggression on to Multitasker. And yeah, I do like the split push here by UBC. They're able to put Mirror Knight. This is the good thing about the new runes. And I say new as in this new season of runes is that even a champion like Cho'Gath, who can't push super hard, has Demolish, so can siege pretty well once he gets to a turret. But with that being said, UBC, they do take a turret on the top side. UCI completely abandon it. Not gonna call it not worth on that one and just let it go. Meanwhile, the Baron is up. No Rift Shield taken. I don't think Rift Shield was taken in any of these games thus far.
Been prevalent in the series. They don't want it.
They have not, but they are going to establish vision around this Baron pit, which is something that needs to happen from both sides. That is for sure. As it's been pretty chaotic thus far. There hasn't really been time to ward sufficiently like you would normally see.
No, yeah, the warding something that it's been a little bit back and forth this game. I mean, UBC's making some lost ground happen here with how deep they had it in the bot side jungle. Now, obviously, those have just expired. Not going to be the biggest deal. Actually, their tower, a little bit of trouble there towards the bot lane. Pings are coming down on it, but we'll see whether or not this is something that they feel like Frozen Qualia can take away. Now, you wanted to talk about vision earlier, the vision that matters around the Baron pit here. And while it's not much, it is sparse. It is favoring the likes of UBC here, especially with the teleport still not up for Frozen Qualia. It'll be up effectively when it matters for Baron here, but this is still a lot of priority that UBC hold around it right this second.
UBC, they are slightly in control right now, and that is something that I use very loosely. Both these teams can take advantage, can have a downfall with one team fight. We saw that earlier today with Columbia College versus George Mason, where one team fight and George Mason fell in game number 2. That's kind of where we're at right now in this game number 3. Both teams going head-to-head, facing each other. There's not much advantage on either side. Both teams just trying to prioritize their positioning and get the vision game down right now. As there's a lot of focus on the Baron, but as we see, both teams again, they're just trading out wards and vision. That's been the name of the game for the past about a minute and a half at this point.
Yeah, they're definitely slowing down. They're just catching their breath, and I mean, how could you not at this point? The hands have to be shaken, the nerves have to be up just a little bit, and so you need to be careful because one misstep, especially the later this game goes, could mean the ticket to LA, or Huntington Beach rather, or the ticket to nowhere in particular. Now look at this, they bought Zud a ticket right back to base on the death train. He's going to get taken down this time around. They do want to continue for chance of the fight, as it is Regis in the back line there, trying to push on through, but only going to take some harass for his time. Now Frozen Qualia did not get to teleport up. He's going to have a long run. Mirror Knight means he can be left alone in that bottom lane. So UCI, they need to find something, and they need to find it now if they do want to turn this back on. If they're just going to defend, it is the slow bleed out, and it's not going well for them. So Reggie's the one they want to get in onto here. The teleport coming down. That is Cho'Gath coming in. Mirror Knight wants to be a part of this one. He's going to be right in the middle of the team. Russian guy went to the very back line, and that's a bad idea for him this time. As Mirror Knight on a killing spree. UBC are breaking it open. That's not Baka falling as well, and they're going to kill Multitasker. Zud's still down from the last fight. Means it is just Frozen Qualia alive, and it is just UBC at this Baron pit. Nobody can stop them. No contest here. 25 minutes, they blow this game open yet again, and are looking to slowly close out this potential third game victory for themselves. It's all on the table at this point, Pekkas.
Very nice pickup, by the way. Nice decision-making by UBC to pull the trigger when they had it there. Zud was nowhere to be seen. There was no damage for UCI from the mid lane, no AP damage. Frozen Qualia cannot even use his Unstoppable Force in an advantageous position. So very nice pickup by UBC, essentially making it a 3v5, able to get all three of those members and pick up the Baron. That is the exact team fight they've been looking for the past 10 minutes or so. I'll say 7 just to give him some leeway here, but it's been a long dance around the Baron, and they was able to, UBC finally able to take advantage and get the buff for themselves. And now they're going to rotate to the bot side, get the Drake as well, just to add a little bit more. And this is going to be the Cloud Drake. One Cloud Drake, not too much. Second actually does help, especially with the rotations coming out. You get that out of combat movement speed. Actually, I think it gives with combat movement speed now too, but it's percentage health or percentage movement speed now. So it actually does add up quite a bit into this mid game. Now that you have your boots all completed and some other items giving you some of that movement speed as well.
Nice done.
Yeah.
Not the craziest, it's just clean.
Still took,
you can appreciate it for what it was.
Still took the Raptor.
Yeah. Well, with that, the setup is here for UBC and shows no signs of slowing down. Mirror Knight doesn't have the teleport, doesn't feel like he needs it, just setting up in this bottom lane to continue the push out. We'll see if they send Frozen Qualia down or not. Looks like the answer will be yes to that one. They want to stop him. Teleport's not going to be a huge factor here. So if a fight does break out, it's just the 4-on-4 that both teams will need to worry about. Now, it looks like UBC just want to clear some vision. UCI just want to keep the minions out of their base. And what better champion to do it with than Anivia Zud? But having a decent game on this champion is 2-3-8. But he does lead the game in farm. No, I'm sorry, actually. I have to amend that. Mirror Knight leads the game in farm. He's sitting at 257. 4 kills to his name, and that's actually a pretty big amount for the split pushing Cho'Gath, especially. We don't think of Cho'Gath as a great farmer. He has good wave clear, but none of that's necessarily great last hitting capabilities. So, with just his rupture to silence. Now the towers for UCI in some trouble here. The first one goes down in the mid lane, and they might not have an answer to this. They want to try to find Luminous. They get him to half health. The fight could be breaking out, but look at that. Zud does get taken down. Russian guy and Baka not going to be able to do too much in this one, but Multitasker is trying to find it. It was Luminous killed, and Makoto's very low. They want to find it. It's a nice turn in. They are continuing to fight the Baron up team. Keep in mind, but look at that. The shot from the back. Mirror Knight kills not Baka. We're left with 2 members apiece, the top and jungle, respectively, for both teams. And this is not good news for UCI still. I mean, they took Baron off of the UBC's damage dealers, for sure, but they're still going to be able to pressure. Look at the mid lane. Sejuani's just going to take this tower out and away by herself by empowering these minions, if they're not careful, if they don't do much to stop this bleeding.
Yeah, Baron and Power minions are going to be the key here because Boyru, he's just doing this by himself. He actually is not even going to try to go to the minions and rush them up. He's just going to tank up the turret.
It doesn't matter anymore.
No, he's just going to take up the turret and back out after taking that one away. So, yeah, UBC, they are brute forcing this at this point, and it's kind of paying off only because they have the advantage this late in the game and have the Baron and Power minions. So if they go even, they still win because of the pre-existing buffs that they had already going into the fight. Now, with that being said, if this game keeps going up to the 40-minute mark and it starts equalizing UCI, they could turn that completely around on them. That was a nice positioning by not Baka on that team fight. He stayed in the backside, able to throw out everything that he had and consistently, not to mention dodge everything with his ultimate too. So he was doing very well until Mirror Knight decided to join. That's when things started going downhill Frozen Aquila. Aquila, I'm sorry, Qualia.
Qualia.
Yeah, Qualia. No A in the front of that Q there. It's Qualia. Frozen Qualia. He still has Unstoppable Force, still has not really been able to get in these team fights the way he wants to.
No, and you know, it was something that was so potent for him last game, and just hasn't been there this game. And it's something that I feel like if he could really work on and just get to the back line of, he would be such a monster. Now the problem is there's just way more peel this time than there was last time, and Mirror Knight is definitely keeping Qualia very busy here. So all in all, we'll see what he can manage. Both with the teleports up, we'll see if they decide to kind of mutually channel it when this next fight does eventually break out in earnest. But just a little skeptical now. 30 minutes. This game's gone longer than both games thus far. And while it favors UBC, it also could be nowhere near ending. We could be just a couple minutes.
I think Mirror Knight's just going to give 1v1 here.
Yeah, you know what? He's so strong at this point. This is the scaling Cho'Gath. Especially with the Warmogs. People are underestimating that item lately. I think if you're a tank in the top lane, it's essentially a must-buy these days. Warmogs is just so good if you hope to have any kind of sustain. Especially on like an energy champion like Shen. I love it.
Yeah, it gives you so much. The like we mentioned, the sustain gives you so much of that. When you're out of combat, I think it can restore. Actually, I don't remember the exact number, but you'll just start seeing massive amount of regen. The green numbers pop up over anybody who has that Warmogs, like 125, 150 every second or every half second. It's a massive amount of regen that you can get from that Warmogs, and that's something that Frozen Qualia has not been able to deal with whatsoever. He's actually building very nicely as far as resistances against Mirror Knight, but Mirror Knight, he doesn't have to kill him, get his health bar all the way down. He just needs to get it down to about like 500 or so, and then just eat him. So that is something that Frozen Qualia needs to be careful of. Mirror Knight, he can outright duel him at this point.
That's a tough position to be into. The top laner just one so much stronger than the other. It flips the entire split push dynamic on its head for the team that's on the back foot there. Last Drake coming up before the Elder Drake does spawn. Potential Infernal on the docket here. Well, it's not potential, it is the Infernal. We know that. We have the technology to confirm this through our scientific process. Looks like it's going to be taken out and away by the likes of UBC here. UCI putting a lot of pressure on being the first ones to the Baron, but the Dragon taken out so quickly that the rotation is just going to come up. Boyru didn't even need to smite. He's going to back here, actually, before the Baron. UCI, they seem afraid to take the fight, like they just want to farm out, but that's not been going their way, and it especially won't continue to go their way if the Baron does fall into the hands of UBC here.
That Drake was the Infernal Drake, so that is going to be huge for these team fights for UBC. That's something that they've been missing this entire time, and just going to add on to their power now, and that it's hitting the mid to late game, to where they have those items that Infernal Drake is going to help out so much more. As we see a big dance coming around the Baron, a lot of pressure being put on there, a lot of wards being dropped by both teams, but Frozen Qualia, he has to make a decision here because he can't 1v1 Mirror Knight. He is best in his team fight, or with his team. Yeah. But if he leaves this, that means Mirror Knight will have this turret. So a lot of
he just wants to break the minions, I think.
Yeah, that's not something that that's not something that a Malphite does very well.
No, unfortunately not.
But somebody who does do that is a Cho'Gath. He's just
look at how quickly he just tears through that. It's insane.
Ease. That's why he has the most farm right now, because he's just been split pushing for what it seems like about 15 minutes. And he's taken one turret thus far. He's gotten the inhibitor turret down halfway. And he's just trading after trading. But look at the sneak coming out.
Yeah, no, they're ready for this. Look at them shred it. Makoto so strong. Boyru gets the credit, but Makoto definitely the one to just chip through that with ease. And oh man, this one hurts if you are UCI. They had no idea that it was happening that quickly, and that is absolutely rough.
Yeah, with Makoto on Kaisa being that powerful right now, with the Stinger even, that Baron, it stands absolutely no chance. You have Boyer just to tank it up, and then Makoto can finish it off the entire time. Doesn't need Luminous, doesn't need Mirror Knight, does not need Regis. can easily take out the Baron just by 2 members of UBC. That's something that UCI should have been able to tell. Of course, by that time, they weren't able to get into the pit either. That is something very sticky, a very sticky situation for UCI. Had they went up to that Baron, they more than likely would have died. And with that being said, they could have also tried to pressure it and shove them off, but too little too late on that one. A lot of tough decisions being made right now by UCI, and a lot of it affects their future at this moment.
Yeah, we're just minutes away from teams deciding whether or not they will be making a move on to the Huntington Beach stage. Well, this is it. They're throwing it down. Multitasker says it's now or never. They want to get it onto Reggie's here.
There's
whether or not they can make this one happen. It's a nice wall, and it does not stop Boyroot for long. But look at that. They're onto the back line. They're going to try to find it, and it is Luminous taken out. That's a 60-second death timer, but it will be shared by Not Baka and Multitasker. A double kill coming out as they are just chipping on through this one. Rush guy trying to do what we can, and Makoto with the kiting. He has the GA the whole time, and it doesn't matter. Ladies and gentlemen, that will absolutely be it with 30 seconds on everyone, with the Baron minions there and the ace to boot. It's going to mean that the University of British Columbia will secure themselves a not first class actually, probably just an economy plane ticket, but a ticket all the way.
Let's not make any promises we can't keep here. I'm not getting first class
at the moment, but look at this. The GGs are coming down. It will mean UBC's coming to Huntington Beach as one of the top 4. They're going to face the winner of Calgary versus Simon Fraser
SFU.
University. I'm sorry. On that Riot stage. You can actually catch that on CSL2 right now. That's still happening. So I believe that that series is in full swing. But this one, ladies and gentlemen, just now concluding. And so intense towards the end there. It lasted much longer than all the rest of the games. It was closer, even by the end, than what we were normally used to seeing.
Yeah, I mean,
UBC just couldn't pull it out.
UBC, they had a loaded gun for about 15 minutes. Were afraid to pull that trigger. And then finally they did. They absolutely destroyed. Makoto, I love watching Makoto play Kaisa. I like seeing Kaisa played in general because it's a bunch of pew-pew-pews. But man, it comes out so fast because you build that stinger. And that just makes your attack speed go so high, especially with the evolution as the kit of Kaisa does. So good. And man, that was a long drawn out game that I feel like UBC could have ended about 10 minutes ago, but props to them, paying respect to UCI. But regardless, whoever regardless of what we say right now, UBC, they're going to be in Huntington Beach, California, and they're going to play in the semifinals against whoever's going to be winning on in about an hour or two.
Yeah, that's still going on C Star League 2. I believe we're only in the second game of that right now, so potentially more action to follow. That is S-Ruff and Magical running that one down, so we'll throw it on over to them before too long, but we do have some congratulations to give out. That's going to be to the University of British Columbia. We will see you guys in Huntington Beach in just 2 short weeks. Very big play there, and potentially a redemption path. If these guys end up against Simon Fraser there, that's going to be a rundown that we saw in Varsity when SFU actually knocked out UBC from the C-Lol run. UCI, they're not. This is not the end of their collegiate season, despite the fact that it does close the door on their JV team. It means, of course, they're still in the running for the Riot stage. So both of these schools have a lot to look forward to on the sandy shores of California, but it is UBC coming out the victor here, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Kyle Corvus Crow. I've been joined at the desk today by Joshua Feck. Of course, you've heard all of our plugs and our announcements, but we do have to give quick shout-outs to Twitch and Juice Battery. Check those guys out. Check out all the action on C Star League 2. But in the meantime, that's going to do it for us, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much for sticking around, and we'll get C Star League 2 hosted up very shortly here.